Hi, welcome. I'm Brad Sugars, chairman and founder here at Action Coach. And a lot of the times when people are looking to work with an action coach, they're asking a question, well, hang on, how does it work? How will my business grow? How will I actually get results for my business? And people usually come to us for one of four main areas, or maybe all four areas that they need help with. It might be time, working too many hours, need to take control of the time. It might be team. The people on your team aren't performing at the level you want them to. It might be money, just not making the profitability or even the sales that you need to make the profitability that you want. Or it could be motivation. A lot of people, when they're been in business a little while, are like, it's getting me down, or it's the business. I don't love it the way I used to, I guess, is probably the thing. And so we go through how, in fact, today's video, I'm going to take you through the 6 steps as to how we actually help you grow your business. And it's a recipe that we built. In fact, when I wrote this book now almost 20 years ago, The Business Coach, we sat down and worked out. We'd already coached 13,500 businesses through our system, and we worked out if we document our system and show people this is the recipe to grow a business. So this is how it actually happens. I just want to walk you through today exactly what that looks and feels like. So we take it through a 6 steps process. Each of the steps, we break it right down for you so that we have education and training around every one of the steps, and then systems and methodologies, documents, forms, things you can use to build that level of the business. So we start out with the 4 areas of mastery. Mastery is the base of the 6 steps, and really it's about getting stability in your business. A lot of the times when we meet a business person, their business runs them, not they run the business. It's like they feel like they're out of control in many ways, and it's putting out fires all the time. And so to put it even more simply, especially if you're a solopreneur, it's like the seesaw. You make a sale, do the work, make the sale, do the work. Or if you got a few employees, it's kind of like the merry-go-round where, you run around in circles, putting out fires. They start, you think they work for you, but it feels more like you're working for them. Well, the 4 areas of mastery that we work on, and first one is destination. And destination mastery is really about goal setting and planning to be able to get clarity. Where are we going? What are we doing? What are we aiming to achieve in the business? And so, again, your coach will work you through the process of getting absolute clarity around what you want to achieve, both long-term and short-term in the business, so that we know what we have to do. See, once there is clarity of destination, then we can make a plan. We can't really make a plan until we decide where we're going to go. And clarity leads to power. When you have clarity of where you're going, what you're doing, it's like the old, you get your phone out to get directions somewhere. If you know where you're going, you can punch it in. In fact, if you know where you are and where you're going, you can set a plan. And that's really what destination mastery is about. The second area of mastery we look at is time mastery. And this is all about productivity, about self-management for you and time management or people management for your people. Where does time go? How does the time of the organization get used? Because ultimately, productivity leads to profitability. The more productive you are, the more productive your team is, the more profitability we can build into the organization. And so getting clarity around how we manage ourselves and how we manage our time is the second area of mastery. The third is delivery mastery. And really what we're aiming for here is consistency of delivery, be it your product or your service, but making sure that our customer experience is one of consistency. And the reason we're doing, the way we get to that is through process, okay? Checklists, different things that we use to make sure that the business is being run consistently and that operation or the delivery of the product or service is done in a way that makes sure the customers want to keep coming back, and we're not losing people because of a lack of process or a lack of consistency in the organization. And finally, the fourth area is financial mastery. We got to know the numbers, and not just knowing the historic numbers like your P&L and your balance sheet and that sort of thing, but your predictive numbers. So we know numbers like, how many leads are coming into the organization. We're starting to measure things that are going to tell us how we're going to do, not just how we did do. So really, it's about knowing your numbers so that we can generate more profitability. We need to know where is profit, where is break even, what is the analysis of what money comes in, all those sorts of things. Simple things that, a lot of business owners just skip over because it seems too hard. Well, with a coach, you'll break this down. It'll become actually very simple for you to understand. What is our run rate? When do we, by what time of the day are we making a profit? Or what day of the week or day of the month are we actually in profit in this thing is really important. So at the mastery level, I guess what we're really trying to teach you and everyone else is that be patient for growth, but very impatient for profits. We want profits now, and once we've got that base settled, then we're going to go for growth, okay? So patience around the growth aspect, and then we really start pushing when it comes to profitability. Okay, from there, we go into the marketing side of it. So mastery, then marketing. Marketing is a simple formula again. It's called the 5 ways to multiply your profits. Wherever you're watching this, if you jump on even if you jump on the YouTube channel for Action Coach, you'll see my 5 ways formula right there. I'll take you through it. I'll give you a summary of it here, but if you want detail, you can watch plenty of those other videos that take you through the detail of it. Our definition of marketing is profitably buying lifetime customers. Now, buying meaning that if I put $1,000 into a marketing campaign and I get 10 customers, it costs me $100 to buy each one, okay? So not complex, but it's also the understanding of the fact that we need to invest money in marketing. And I use the word invest. We don't spend in marketing. What we put out there, we expect more to come back than what we put out there. And we use testing and measuring systems to be able to help you do that. And of course, we'll coach you in how to do that and show you exactly what steps to take and what forms and all of those sorts of things. But our goal with marketing is to get ourselves out of price competition. Our goal with marketing is to get ourselves into that niche that means we don't do discounting and we don't do it the way that kills companies. Discounting brings in cheap customers with no loyalty. We want to be running a business with good, strong, loyal, lifetime customers. So the 5 ways formula is a fairly simple one. I said, and as I mentioned, go watch another video on that one when you finish this one around the detail orientation of that. But it's leads, which is like your prospects, potential customers, multiplied by conversion rate. So if, 10 people contacted you today to buy and you sold 2 of them, your conversion rate is 2 out of 10 or 20% type thing. Well, leads times conversion rate equals how many customers you have. So that's the number of customers you're doing business with. Of course, we're going to work on getting more leads in the business. We're going to work on improving your conversion rate. Therefore, we increase the number of customers. Now, from there, again, it's called the 5 ways. So leads and conversion are the first 2. From there, we're going to work on your repeat business rate, your number of transactions, how often a customer comes back on average. Now, some will come in once and you'll never do business with them again. Others will buy from you 5, 10, 12 times a year type thing. What's the average is what we're looking to measure in that one. And again, within our system, we have about, if you look at lead generation, we have just over 80 strategies for lead generation. I think it's 83 strategies for lead generation. We have 87 strategies for conversion rate improvement. And yeah, most business people never learn more than 2 or 3 of the strategies, but we have 80 odd strategies in each of those categories to teach you. When it comes to repeat business rate, we have 78 strategies there that we can teach you and show you how to grow your business. Then we move to your average sale, okay? So your average sale, again, some might spend 5, some might spend 500, but what's the average amount that someone invests or spends when they buy from you on a normal transaction? Of course, we're going to work on improving that as well. But in this particular case, you sit back and you say, okay, if we can just improve that by small margins, the big multiplier impact does come in the end. And that's a big part of it. So Number of customers by number of transactions by average sale gives you your total sales. Okay, so the total amount of revenues or sales or turnover, depending upon where you're from in the world, for the business. You multiply that by area number 5, which is the margins, the percentage of every dollar or every pound or euro that you bring in that is returned to bottom line profit. And again, for margins, we have 56 strategies that we can use to improve the margins in your business. So it's really about learning those several hundred strategies or learning what they are and then picking the ones that are right. You know, you want 4 or 5 for leads, 4 or 5 things, 4 or 5, 4 or 5. So you're working 20 to 25 strategies throughout the first year or 2 of coaching to get your numbers up. And that's where we hit that marketing side of growing the business. That then leads us to the customer experience. No use getting customers if we don't keep them. So we take you through our ladder of loyalty, how we take people through that process. Again, it's in my book, Instant Repeat Business, or you can take a look at some of the other videos on our YouTube channel or around the world. But going from a suspect to a prospect, how we do that with our marketing, turning a prospect into a shopper, that is a first-time buyer, so someone who spends money one time. Taking a shopper and turning them into a customer, that means a longer-term customer, so someone that's bought from you again and again. That customer then becoming a member, where they feel like they belong and they feel like they're part of the business and, you know, everybody knows their name type thing. The member then giving us referrals, so they become an advocate. And then eventually taking that advocate and turning them into a raving fan, someone that posts about us on social media, someone that tells their friends, someone that's, you know, really someone that's an advocate for our business at a very high level. But that's sort of the structure of the first 2 layers of the 6 steps. The 4 areas to get control of the business. Then we use those 5 ways to get more cash and cash flow into the business. And from there, we move into your systems, okay? Now, systems, the old saying of it stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. What we think of with systems is if you build the systems, your team run the systems run the business, your team run the systems, and the customers drive the systems, and you run the team, okay? You lead the team. So it's really about how do we get a business to be more system dependent than people dependent type thing. That doesn't mean we don't want people. You know, if 80% of the tasks in a business are routine, like 80% of the tasks are things that are done day in, day out, weekend, month in, whatever, then those things need to be systematized. And whether that's a document or a checklist or a photograph or a video or some form of system that trains new people how to do that and teaches people how to do it easier, better, more productively, then that's really what we're aiming to do. We have 9 steps to systemization. I won't go through all of those with you here today, but suffice to say, the book Instant Systems, any of the other videos that you want, but those 9 steps build it so that if you look back at our definition of a business here at Action Coach, our definition is a commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you, okay? Commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. So the mastery is about creating a commercial enterprise, okay, that's consistent, delivers, etc. The marketing is about the commercial, profitable enterprise. The systems are about a commercial, profitable enterprise that works. You develop systems that make it work, okay? And then finally, from systems, we jump to the team building aspect, commercial, profitable enterprise that works without you. Okay, so we build that team, and there's 6 keys to a winning team. And again, these things are trained right across the board in our organization, and everything from starting with strong leadership right through to how we support risk-taking, all of these 6 keys to a winning team, and how we build amazing communication structures, and we can train, again, you and your team in the communication aspects if that's needed. We can train them in the sales, or we can actually come in and run team building training with you and your team if that's necessary, sort of thing. But taking you through those 6 keys is strong leadership, a common goal, rules of the game, an action plan, support risk-taking, and 100% involvement and inclusion. That structure is something that gives you, I guess, Einstein once said it. He said, if you can't teach it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And then my goal with everything is to make sure we break it down into the simplest way possible for someone to follow through and actually do what we teach you. And so when you break that down, it makes it very simple for someone to follow. And again, we have management training and leadership training and all of those things to help you build your organization, because what we found is it's very difficult in most companies to build a training facility for themselves. And so we become your sort of outsourced trainer of your people for you. From that, we then move up to the scale. So mastery, marketing. From marketing, we go to systems, to team, and then we go to scale. And this is where once you've built that base 4 points, then what we do is we move into scaling the business. And scaling the business, that's this book here, Pulling Profits Out of a Hat. That one goes into the 5 core disciplines of scale, and it actually takes you through strategy and how that works, people and the 5 key areas of people, the execution side of it, the 3 core areas of execution, business development, the 3 core areas of biz dev, and then the mission and how actually the mission is part of that overall growth of the business. See, when a business goes from percentage growth to multiplied growth, when it goes from normal growth to exponential growth at the scale level of the business, it has to be run differently. It has to be thought about differently. The leadership is different, management's different, and the way we do marketing is very different because we're scaling. We're not just keeping our business running. We're actually acquiring customers at a very rapid rate and expanding the business at a very rapid rate. And you may never want to build it that big, and that's okay, but this is just the ladder of the way it works. And finally, we hit level 6, which is freedom. And at level 6, you have the freedom to, the business now runs without you. Okay, it makes money whether you go in or not. You probably attend a board meeting once a month, or maybe you spend an hour each week coaching the CEO of the business and have them run it on your behalf. Maybe you have us coach them and have them run it on your behalf, and you turn up once a month for the board meeting type thing. But that is in essence the 6 steps formulaic approach. And when you hit that level of freedom, you can choose to sell the business. You could choose to do many different things with it, but it's where you start taking on hobbies and things because the business is now running without you. You're not needed. And I still remember back to the first time I got my business to run without me, and it was like, but I want to be there. I tried to play golf with my dad, and it was like, because he was the only retired person I knew when I was a young man, and I thought, oh yeah, this will be great. 2 weeks of golf, and oh my God, I was done. I was like, I want to go back to work. I want to go back. Now, I didn't want to work anywhere near as hard as I did before, but I definitely wanted to do a few hours each day, a few days a week, and keep my mind involved. And that's really when teaching became a very big passion for me. And I think I found more enjoyment out of teaching than I did out of running companies. But still to this day, I keep buying companies. This year, I bought a share of a marketing agency. Last year, I bought a share of another marketing agency. This year, building another. I sold one restaurant, building another restaurant right now. And I keep doing that because it keeps me excited and keeps me enjoying the game. Other ways that, so that's the formulaic approach. So how will the business grow? Obviously, planning is a part of the growth of your business. So we'll look at planning from everything from your daily planning, your weekly planning, right through to your quarterly plans, and eventually annual and 5 to 7 year plans. We don't want day one. We don't want a 5 to 7 year plan. We want an idea of where we're going, but we want to get focused on what do we do every 90 days, every day, every week type thing. If you hit your daily goals and your daily plans, then your annual plans happen no matter what type thing. So that leads me to the next thing as to why it'll work is measuring. We are big believers in you can only manage what you measure, and you have to measure what matters, I guess, is probably the big thing behind it. And that's why knowing your numbers, not just historic numbers, as I mentioned, but knowing the numbers that predict where you will be in a period of time, like knowing your conversion rate helps you predict what will my sales look like? Where will I go with the numbers? Those sorts of things are a big part of it. Next reason your business will grow is because we're going to coach you. We're going to help you become a better business person. There's no two ways about it. As your coach works with you and you upskill, up knowledge, but even just, I want to say, it's not really the right term, but the emotional growth. As you grow, more strength and more confidence, more ability, you just get to take on more sort of thing. And as you get better at business, business gets easier. If you get better at sales, sales gets easier type thing. And on top of that, we can coach and train your team. That's another reason we know that your business will grow. If we take your sales team on our 12-week sales training program and they increase their conversion rate during that process, well, hey, presto, your business is making more money. So that's really a big part of how we get results fast, is by working both with you and your team. The direct work can often help move things much faster. So, by the way, we can also coach your team, whether it's a salesperson, a sales manager, an executive in your organization. Coaching your team is also available, not just you that we'd look to coach, but many members of the organization can get into a coaching program or get into an education program for that. Ultimately, business is about two things: get them and keep them. Get customers and keep customers. A lot of what we need to focus in on business is how do we get customers and how do we keep customers? And that's really what growth is all about. If you don't keep them, you can't grow. If you don't get them, you can't grow. And so building a business is about, balancing out the getting and keeping of customers with the growth of the ability to deliver. So we keep raising our ability to deliver to more people, more customers in more areas, and we keep raising our ability to bring on leads and convert them and then get repeat business and increase that average sale and the margins. Balance those two things out and you've got a great business. And ultimately, that's why we know business coaching works. Just to reiterate, having that outsider, that coach that is willing to push and cajole you, that's, has that outside perspective, is a really big asset to a business. Couple that with the accountability of, you're investing in coaching because you want us to get you better results. And if sometimes that means pushing you, then yeah, that's what we'll have to do. But other times it just means cheering you on because you're kicking butt out there and doing a great thing. Anyway, we look forward to helping you grow your business. And if that means clicking the button right now to watch more videos, fantastic. Or fill in the questionnaire and get a session with a coach, or just book a call with one of the team, or get back with the coach who sent you this video. Look forward to working with you. Look forward to seeing you at one of our international or national events around the world and really helping you grow your business.